That's something.
Now this was the
That's the back side of the Romulus Hotel.
and what year was this?
Oh, you're stretching my brain
Oh,
back.
sorry.
That's gonna be probably late 80s. Hello. 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 He became a member of the Fire Department Explorer Post, which is a division of the Boy Scouts of America, in 1978. In 81, I ended up getting into the fire department as a full-fledged volunteer fireman because I turned 18. Been in the department ever since. I have done officer's duty as a lieutenant and a captain. I am now a captain again, and I am also a vice president of the board. It's all evolved. I mean, the trucks have changed massively from what they were in 1981.
Yeah.
Nothing we have here now is from 1981. All of our equipment has been changed, modernized, upsized. Principles are still the same. You put the wet stuff on the red stuff.
And with kind of like stuff that's held here and stuff, like there's benefits and stuff.
Yep.
It's something like different kind of like charity work, right? Too.
Yeah.
It's kind of spread throughout the
I
firehouse.
mean, we do the Strawberry Festival. We provide food for the Strawberry Festival. We do not charge a fortune for it. It's not a money maker for us. It is community service. We do the Halloween parties for the kids. That is all free. Everything that they get when they're here is all free. We do not charge for it. So they get the spook house, they get the candy and cookies and things like that. Then we also do the breakfasts with Santa. Unfortunately, COVID has screwed all of that up. But we did the breakfasts with Santa for years. That is also a community thing that is free for parents and children. So we do a breakfast for families. We get Santa to come in on a fire truck. Santa stays here and hangs out with the kids for a while. And that's all it's community service. It's to put us out there and say, hey, we're here for the community.
And it's nice when the community kind of comes together and for the event stuff. Like I've seen it, like for example, like a chicken barbecue and stuff. Event happens. And
well, we did our fundraiser for our 4 firefighters that were going through medical. 3 of them were dealing with cancer. One of them was in need of a kidney transplant. We put on a dinner fundraiser to help them offset their costs of dealing with the cancer, and the public came out. We originally planned on 200 or 300 people, and we ended up feeding over 1,200 people.
Cool.
So what started out as the little monkey turned into a gorilla, and then it ended up being Godzilla at the end. So it was just a massive thing that we did, and the people from all over came out to support it. So Iowa.
This one?
Yep. This was made in Groton. Over on the other side of the lake.
Yep.
But that was made in Iowa. That's a 2020, but you see that's got the electric in it too. But this truck, all the new trucks now come, especially when they're a factory, this is a Freightliner chassis with a Twain fire body on it. Freightliner, International, Kenworth, all of them now create trucks that are already designed for fire service now. They put a master switch in it that kills everything in the truck except the computer. It keeps the computer alive because you don't want to shut the truck's computer off and leave it off and keep cycling it. So they design these trucks now with a master switch and all the wiring. So manufacturer, a fire truck manufacturer, just can come in and tie into the truck's wiring because it's already there and it's already set up for them. So this truck, we turn the master switch on, everything comes to life, including the fire truck body.
But see,
and then you turn the ignition key on and the truck turns on. The dash comes to life.
But even when it's off, it's not 100% off because it can't be.
Right. The computer that runs the truck is still alive. Because right now, if I go in here and turn the key on, it doesn't do anything. The truck is dead. There's nothing. But if I turn the master switch on, now everything comes alive.
Wow.
But there again, when I turn the master switch back off, I turn the truck key off, everything's still alive in the dash.
Yeah.
I turn the master switch off, now everything goes dead, except the computer that operates the truck. There's still that computer that's under the hood or in the dash or wherever Freightliner buries it.
It's still running.
It's still alive, just like your mom's car, your car, or dad's pickup truck. And there's air coming out of this vent, and there's another one on the other side if you shut up. There is a humidistat in the compartments, and if it senses moisture, the fan turns on and it blows through the compartments and then discharges out the back to keep things dry. So if you have wet equipment in there, it'll dry it off. It just blows fresh air through.
So you could basically dry your equipment as you go kind of deal?
Well, it's like if you pull into like a scene, if we have an accident or something and we pull our jaws out and we throw this stuff back in and it's damp, it'll help dry it out. And this is more stuff that's changed from when I first got in the department. These are our cutters and our spreaders. These are what everybody affectionately refers to as jaws. These are not jaws, these are Amicus tools. Jaws are manufactured by the Hearst company, so the Jaws of Life are the Hearst company, but everybody makes stuff like it now, refer to them as the Jaws of Life.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But these are actually powered by a DeWalt battery,
Really?
cordless tools. Yeah.
Now, you know it's a real bad accident if you guys got to get those things out, right? To get somebody out.
But we still have the hydraulic stuff. We still have a set of jaws that are still the old engine-driven hydraulics. We have rams. These are the two rams. So we still have tools that still run via the hydraulic system that we had. These are all hydraulic internally in their own little unit. So makes it much more convenient because you're not dealing with having this.
Okay. And I was also curious as to like when going to like a house fire or a building fire and stuff like that, what kind of like things are you like dealing with like in the house, like smoke? What kind of, I guess like poison, like
things
in air kind of.
Things have changed a lot with the new building constructions. Now there's a lot more plywood or composite materials. Sawdust turned into lumber, building product, veneers that are all glued together to make laminated beams. Furniture has become more and more toxic with the new fills and the foams and the synthetic cloth. House fires have become extremely, any kind of a fire in this day has become extremely I want to say hazardous or toxic versus 50 years ago. 50 years ago, you didn't have vinyl siding. You have vinyl siding now. Is very common.
So the hazards have gone way up.
Way up. With all the fabricated materials, laminated or plywood truss houses, floor joists for free span, they're structurally stronger until fire hits them, and then they become very brittle. So the dangers as well as the toxicity of the stuff has gone up too. A house that was built 100 years ago can go through a massive fire and still stand up, and a house that's built 5 years ago will go up in smoke and be on the ground in 10 minutes. So, you know, just the design and the structures, they're, you know, they tend to not like fire anymore. They're, you know, much more apt to be destroyed in a fire if it's not stopped quick.
Now, you showed me that the fire truck out here that was for 1932.
32. It's a 32 Ford Model BB, and it's been in the department since new.
Yeah. And how much work has had to be like done to it over the time that's been had here?
It's went through one modification to take it from a single rear wheel truck to a dual rear wheel truck for stability purposes. That was done sometime in the 50s. We're not really sure, there's no records of it, so we don't know when it was actually done. It did go through an accident in the 80s. It T-boned, car pulled in front of it. It was a T-bone collision. The front of the truck had to be rebuilt. That was done in the 80s, repainted, and it's basically just maintained as a parade truck now. Hasn't fought a fire since the 50s.
So it's had some time to set.
Yeah. 50s, 60s, I guess it was the 60s they took it out of service.
I was curious, like how like calls go, like within like when you're in a fire truck and stuff, like what you speak through and like how it kind of works.
Radios haven't changed since I've been in the department, other than frequencies. We've went to high band frequencies, so there's more channels. We have, instead of having one dispatch channel, and that was our fire channel, we have, in Seneca County, we have a dozen channels to use. Dispatch channel, then we break it all down to all kinds of different channels. Fire police have a channel. We have, this morning we used channel 1, 3, and 5 today. 3 was our tanker task force, 5 was on scene command. Channel 1 was dispatch. That's helped a lot over the years. More communications, better communications. But other than that, you still use a two-way radio.
Good setup, and it's just it stayed pretty much same. Just
there again, you can add. It's expanded our abilities. Just like the new trucks, there's more stuff on them, more equipment. They pump more water. It's just expanded our ability to do our job. So.
Thank you for doing this interview.
No problem.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd like to learn a little bit more about it and stuff too. So.
No problem.